So, as part of my What I'm going to read in April, I did briefly review this book, Paul McVeigh's I Hear You, but I didn't really go into much detail, so I wanted to do that today. This is Paul McVeigh's second book and his first short story collection. This is actually a collection of short stories for BBC Radio 4 quite a while back, really, and now they are being published. So you've got a series of 10 short stories in this book. That actually comes at the end. Before that, there are 3 unrelated stories. He has this really lovely way with writing characters that they just really feel very real and you can understand them. And that's really interesting here. And I'm saying really many times as well, in that these are very, very short stories. You get a little slice of these characters' lives. The first story, Tickles, sees a man who has gone to visit his mother. She has dementia and his mum gives him a hug. And it's basically the kind of hug that he can't easily get away from. And this causes him to look at things that have happened with him and his mother throughout their relationship and his life. You've also got a short story called Cuckoo, which is about a man who has surgery and then he feels like he loses part of himself with the surgery. It's really, really interesting. And it raises a lot of questions at the end. Not that Paul doesn't answer questions, but more your readerly interpretation. You just have lots of things that you want to think about. It's quite compelling. I will say, as one piece of my review about the 10-part series, that this is kind of like a fractured narrative, and you get different stories from the different people that live in this certain area that are all working towards being part of a talent contest. My favourite story, which is about a drag queen who is doing an interview, and you never actually hear from the interviewer. They are sat there with the drag queen though. And just the way that the drag queen is talking, as they would do to an interviewer, really brings a certain immersion into it. And it all culminates with a story from the owner of the venue. The 10-parter, which is called The Circus, is still available on BBC Sounds if you want to give it a listen. I'm not so sure about the others, but I think Paul McVeigh's got some various short story readings on his Instagram, so you can try that out. But this is really great. It is a follow-up to his 2015 novel, The Good Son, and I am really looking forward to what he writes next. And something I forgot to say, so I am recording a different video here, is that I got this from the publisher in order to interview the author, which has happened.